Hello, how are you? This is Dan Molloy coming to you from our offices overlooking New York City with a short video on what power training is all about. It's based on the language of commitment. And here's the basic premise of it. And I state it right here in this flyer. Powerful employees mean more sales and better performance, period. And it's true. Whenever I lead a training session, if I ask everybody in the class, who here wants to be powerful? Everybody's hand goes up. And it's true, powerful employees will sell more, will produce more, will show up on time, will get everything done. So what I've done is woven together a training program that I've been working on and studying for 35 years. I'm going to give you a little bit of the history of it. And we have live video sessions, we have follow-up practice, we have classroom format, and we give recorded feedback, and I have a whole video library. The most comprehensive program of its kind. And we measure performance. Okay, it's based on my work that I did in the early 1980s. I studied for 6 years with a fellow by the name of Fernando Flores. Flores, pictured here, was the economics minister for the country of Chile. He's a civil engineer, philosopher, and economist, brilliant man. He was caught up in the military coup in Chile and was a political prisoner for 3 years. Amnesty International got him out in, I think it was 1974, thereabouts. And I met him in 1980. He was teaching a communications workshop. And I was so hooked by his message, the foundation of which is that in all language, there's only 6 possible moves any of us can make at any moment in time. I'm going to show you what they are in a second. So I studied with him. And as I got involved in the automotive industry, I decided to build a program. It was needed because the work, people on the phones in the automotive industry is just horrible. And yet the phones account for like 90% of the business. Okay, so having an effective communications training program focused on the phones is essential, absolutely essential if you want to maximize your business. So in my language of commitment, in my power training, I teach principles that they can apply. Okay, I'll show you a couple of them right here quickly. There are three layers or levels of communication taking place in commerce today. All right, one is what I call the automatic layer. That's where the phone rings and somebody says, how much is an alignment? And your guy or gal goes, $89.95. Or somebody calls up and says, how much is an oil change? The response is automatic, no thought. We have 3 types of oil, and they go off and they list them in the prices. Okay, automatic communication is nothing wrong with it if it's effective. So I use this model to point out the 3 layers. Most people are on automatic mode about information and data because it makes perfect sense. We live in the information age. So it's always about information and data. So they spend a countless amount of time on automatic mode talking about information and tire sizes and prices and technology and all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay? And it just goes on and on and on in this loop. Automatic communication about information and data. The thing that's missing is the commitment layer. The commitment layer is mission critical, however, because the only time commerce ever happens is when people exchange commitments. We have to get up to this layer. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with these two. I'm just pointing it out so people can observe. Okay? Now, let me move on to another one of the other models we have. By the way, the cartoon, my first trip into the market with when I was a partner in ProCare Automotive, I immediately, at the end of my first week in the market, I called my friend Arnie Levin and I said, Arnie's a cartoonist for the New Yorker. He produced this for me. He's making another one for me right now, as a matter of fact. Brilliant cartoonist. But this is your world. This is where you have to operate. And so understanding language and communication, mission critical inside the cartoon. That's why I have it. Another model we work on, we call this the Foundation for Results model. And with this model, you can solve any problem in your business, with customers, with employees, with vendors, etc. And here's basically the gist of it. All right. When you think about all results, if you want big new results up here, you need new action, you need new options, you need new possibilities. Okay, where that's going to come from is what I call the background. This is the fabric of life. The trust you have, respect, freedom of expression, and shared commitment that you have with your coworkers, your customers, your vendors. If there's not a lot of trust, respect, freedom, and shared commitment, then you got a narrow pipe, and it's very difficult to produce results when people don't trust. That's why we have this whole piece on trust. We spend a lot of time on trust. Your job is to expand this. It's a plumbing issue, so that you can have a wide pipe. A wide pipe. The wider the pipe, the bigger the relationship. So the focus in business, in life, has to be on building strong relationships. And you can do it very quickly. That's the game. So this is when we talk about power, we're talking about being able to create this opening, to have a big, rich relationship, and to do it quickly on the telephone or at the counter. Okay, so it's really, and this model is really powerful, really important for diagnosing just about anything. Now, here's where Flores really put it all together, my opinion. In all communication, there's only 6 possible moves anyone can make. And for me as a young man, I was like, wow, that's really interesting. Because what that meant to me as a 30-year-old in New York City as a sales guy was that if I just became masterful at these 6 moves, it was a game changer. And so that's what I've done. I spent a lot of time, okay, working on what I call the language of commitment. These are the fundamentals, okay? So the other thing is that most companies have very clear standards for what it means to process, credit, for handling money, for handling EPA issues, HR issues, but nobody has clear standards for how to communicate. We put that together for you. If you adopt it, it's very powerful. So here's an example. If people communicating, my recommendation is that the first move should be to build a relationship, to build trust up front. First move, draw people into your world. Then you want to have a conversation for action. You got to be able to produce action. And how do you do that? You ask questions and make requests, make promises, make statements of fact, and make declarations. That's it. These are the only moves as human beings that we have. In the automotive industry, the most important move is right here, declaration. I'll give you an example, right? Declarations are powerful because they invent the future. That's what they do. Like Declaration of Independence, Declaration of Marriage, things like that. Declarations like, I can help you with that. Right here, this is our approach. This is our phone approach for basic inbound calls. First major move right here, I can help you with that, is a declaration that invents the future. You're in the right place, Mrs. Jones. Yeah, I'm the guy. I'm going to take care of you. These are all declarations. Your people have to know how to make power moves. If they can't make powerful declarations and turn them into promises, by the way, just so you know, the only time commerce is ever produced is when people exchange commitments. That's the only time it ever happens. Okay? So the key move is a commitment. How do you do that? A commitment is to make a declaration in time that turns it into a promise. Declaration in time. I'll give you a quick example. Okay? I can help you with that, Mrs. Jones. Today, right now, or at 2 o'clock. Which works best for you? Declaration, time. Conversation for action is about time and commitment. The first part is about declarations. I'm going to take care of you. You're in the right place. My job, just so you know, Mrs. Jones, my only job is to become your car guy for life. That's what my mission is. I want to be your car guy. And I want to see you down here. Come on down now, or I'll see you at 2 o'clock. Which works best for you? So the power training is about understanding how all this bolts together into a narrative, a story, and giving your team an approach that they can master, that they can practice. If they can't practice, and we teach them how to practice. We show them how to practice. I give them all kinds of other moves as well in the back of my workbook. Okay, you see back here. And I have a program like this for inbound calls, outbound calls, everything. Okay, but here's an example of power moves that we teach them as a part of this program. I can help you with that. You are in the right place. Mrs. Jones, I'm the guy. I'm going to take care of you. You know what, Mr. Smith? I am the make it happen man for you today. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to take care of you. Mr. Walters, your search has ended, my friend. I've got great prices for you, and I won't be beat. These are all declarations. All declarations. I will not be beat ever, and I want to see you down here. How about 2 o'clock? Or would 3 be better? The same, I'm telling you, power training, this is the most important training you could give your people, your employees. It's about them becoming powerful human beings. Okay, now let me show you a couple other things we have. Power training program, all right? We have a whole YouTube library all about this. How choice close improves closing percentages, right? How to close appointments with confidence. How to close a sale. How to improve sales and outbound calls. The power of declarations in business and life. Developing a sales approach, your own. How choice close, all about choice close. Replacing no with IkiWit, I can help you with that. How to handle price shoppers. All videos, all related to the power training. Okay, now our power training, these are the topics. Again, I just went over a couple of those with you. Here, I'm thrilled. We do power training in the morning early. Okay, here's some ones we had recently. We start at 6:30 Eastern. We go to 7:45, 8:45, and 9:45, all Eastern. So this way, if you happen to be in Central Time, this is 6:45 Central, 6:45 Mountain, 6:45 Pacific Time. And your people, when you sign up for our power training, they can come into any one of these that they want. Okay, so we have something for everybody. Now this, I'm thrilled because this next one we have right here, Tuesday of this week, is with Dominic Morelli, one of the people on my staff. He's a consultant and analyst with us. And he also happens to have been a PGA golfer, played on the PGA Tour, and a professional musician. Very unique guy. And we're going to talk about practicing. We're going to talk about dedication. We're going to talk about what it takes to become a professional, a PGA golfer and a professional musician. Played trumpet in Madison Square Garden in front of 70,000 people in big arenas. Played with Wilson Pickett and a whole slew of major acts. So he's a professional golfer, professional musician. We're going to talk for half an hour about building competence, about practice. Okay. Now here's the rest of the story here, folks. We measure all this. Closing percentages in your business right here, which we measure, are based on your ability to exchange commitments with the customer. So we measure it. We measure employee close. We measure customer close. We teach it. We measure it. We measure power moves. I can help you with that. You're in the right place. We measure it. Choice close. The time element. This is the declaration. This is the time element. We measure it right here. Okay? Watch. You scroll down a little bit. Check it out. IkiWit, 64%. Choice close, 89%. If we focus training and coaching on these two moves, the power moves, you're home free. You'll improve your closing percentages in your business dramatically. Absolutely, I'm certain about that. Absolutely certain about it. And then finally, with our software, you get the ability to measure everything and use it in training and listening and coaching. Watch this. You're a tire company. One click on the mouse, and here's all your tire calls. The yellow ones are missed opportunities. The green ones are made opportunities. You want to follow up on this? Here, just open it up. Here's all the information. This is what the call was about. The salesperson, what the customer requested. You want to listen to it? You just click here. Boom, here comes the call. You can listen to the call right here. There it is. And then call a customer back. Okay? We've got everything here for you, folks, but at the heart of this is the fundamental work on language and communication. So anyway, I hope you found this interesting, and I hope that you join us for some power training in the very near future. Thanks, guys.